Hey everybody, this is Sean. Been a little while since our last video went up, but you know, it's been winter and seasonal depression is a real thing, especially after everything we've been going through. But I've got another Kickstarter unboxing for you. This time it's going to be the Kefirko Fermenter, which is a cool little glass jar that I'll be showing you more of in a second. Came packaged really well, so that's nice. I've had a couple Kickstarters show up that were just in bags or didn't take care to have a proper box. And since this is a glass jar, I am glad they've got a good box. There we go. And the Kefirko Fermenter is meant to make home fermenting of vegetables to make pickles and stuff far easier. Came with a coupon code for 20% off if I want anything else. And I love making pickles, so this seemed like a wonderful idea. Let's take a look at their packaging. This is kind of nice. Multiple languages. I've got the 1400 milliliter version. Clean and simple. Mixed veggies, sauerkraut, kimchi, fruits, or any other vegetables. And yeah, you put it in there, you put the lid on, and you just let it sit. Okay, and it's included. We get the lid with pump and a fermentation clock, a pressing spring, a glass weight, and tongs and pounder hybrid glass jar, and oh, thank goodness, a recipe book. I'm planning on making some of these recipes. I might follow along with some videos, but no promises at the moment. There's our glass weight. That presses down the vegetables so they'll stay under your liquid. We've got tongs and a little presser to squeeze everything down. The jar itself, we'll take a look closer at that. There's things in there we want to see. Ooh. And then there really high quality recipe book. I'm very impressed with this one. Ooh. I'll take a look through this and find something I want to try, and maybe I'll show you. It's got a salsa recipe. We love salsa.
I love salsa.
Okay. Get the top off of there. It's got its... Okay, yeah, no, that can definitely let pressure out. Extra valves. And then whatever this is. Ah, yes, a spring. I'm pretty sure the spring will go between the glass press and the top part, just to maintain pressure. And that's it. Okay, well, we've got that unboxed and we've taken a look at the Kefirko Fermenter. And you know, while we have this out, there's probably no reason not to try it. So I'm going to take a break, take a quick look through the book, get everything cleaned up, and maybe get some vegetables and see where we go from there. Okay, now that we've got the unboxing out of the way and I've had a chance to read through the instructions and clean everything, it's time to actually make a recipe inside this fermenter. We're going to start with the cultured salsa first because a fresh fermented salsa is absolutely delicious. I've messed up with their ingredients a little bit here. I couldn't find any cherry tomatoes, so I'm going with Roma. And I'm going to go with 100 grams and a full onion, doubling this up a little bit just so that I have more because we've got the giant fermenter here. For the green bell peppers, I'm actually replacing one of them with a bunch of jalapenos because this should be spicy. I'm not adding basil. I'm going to add cilantro instead because I want a Mexican flavor to this salsa. And then just going to use some kosher salt instead of Himalayan sea salt because it's what I have on hand. Other things I've noticed. This part on the top is a valve to pump air out for you, which is kind of cool. And these little guys weren't spare valves. They're little carbon or activated charcoal discs so that you don't smell the fermenting food as you're working, which personally is amazing. these things can get pretty smelly when they're working. So that's great. Anyway, from here, I guess it's time for me to get the ingredients chopped and ready. And I'll be back for you when I'm ready to start following this. Okay, I've got all my ingredients together in the bowl like they asked. It looked like a lot of vegetables compared to the size of the fermenter, so I haven't doubled the tomatoes or the onion yet. I'm going to mix them all together and see what it looks like first, and then we're going to put it in the fermenter, and if it doesn't look like there's enough stuff in there, then I'll double it up. But I'd rather end up with less than more, just so I don't have a whole bunch of salsa sitting around my house that I haven't finished. I even have my salt ready to go. And a lime juice too. Working alone on this project, so I don't have an extra hand for filming. So I'm going to stir this up, and then I'll be right back. Everything's mixed up. I have my first batch of salt in there, so now let's taste it. See if it needs more salt. Nice and flavorful. Super spicy because of all the jalapenos I put in there. I ended up replacing the second bell pepper with them as well. Whew. So that is good. Yeah, it doesn't really need anything. So next step is going to be filling it all up into this fermenter. So I'm going to figure out how exactly I'm going to do that with a camera and 2 hands. I might go get one of my tripods, and then we'll start doing that. How's that shot for you? I think I've got both of them in frame. Just going to take off this lid. And then get the salsa we made inside there. There's a lot of juice coming out of it already from the acid and the salt working on the tomatoes, which is good. I was worried about the amount of liquid this would have and whether everything would be fully submerged and able to properly ferment. And it's filling up well. Lost some outside there, but that's fine. Might have to swing by here with a cracker for everything I've dropped. Okay, the full jar is full. Last little bit of liquid and everything into there. Don't want to miss any of these chili seeds because that's where the spice is. Liquid's probably got all my salt and acidity. Okay. 1 full Kefirko jar. And then you take your pounding tool and you squish that down. Now the vegetables are all supposed to be under the level of the liquid, which doesn't seem to be that high. But their instructions did mention that you could make your own brine to fill up the remainder, just to make sure that things were underwater there. So I might end up doing that. I think I might juice a second lime into there too, just to give myself a little bit more coverage with the liquid. But there you go. I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like before the next step, putting in that glass thing and everything. There we go. I've added some more lime juice to it, which seems to be just what we needed. The limes here are kind of small this year, but now when I press it down, all the vegetables are underneath the liquid, which means we're on and ready for our next step. Not going to need that presser anymore. Give you a good close-up. You can see all the juice in there with everything. Then we've got our glass weight. Used to have a giant jar for doing fermenting, so it's nice having something small. Yeah, I don't have to put a full plate inside there. Get that down flat. And press it down. And that'll hold all of the vegetables underneath the liquid. And just to make sure it does, they give you a spring that you can put down in there and put your lid on. And it'll keep everything down and you won't get any air escaping. And the final step is to pump any extra air out of there. Okay. And now we leave this in our cupboard for 48 hours. So I'll show you what it looks like after 1 day. And then we'll be back after 2 days. And I'm going to have Alexis try it with me. So we can let you know what this fermenter is like and what its delicious cultured salsa is going to be like. So we've fermented our salsa for actually 3 days instead of the 2 days because I might have forgotten about it on the second night.
It still seems to be totally fine.
Yeah, no, it seems to be fine. We put it in our fridge to stop the fermentation until we had time to finish the video. But here we go. This is our fermented salsa, which we're going to enjoy with some chips.
Not the most fancy chips in the world, but we're here for the salsa, not the chips, so I'm not too concerned.
Give you a close-up view of what that looks like now.
It's changed color quite a bit. And the overall experience of using this thing was good?
Oh yeah, it was really good. It was almost foolproof. You basically put things in there, put down your little disc, and forget it. There you go. That smells delicious. That's...
Now we're going to be putting this into another container, so don't necessarily worry about, it's all in a bowl. Yeah,
yeah, this is just for YouTube, so that you guys can
kind of see what it looks
get
like.
a view of this delicious fermented salsa.
The light's not great, but whatever.
Now let's give it a try.
It smells wonderful. Try and get a piece of everything on there. It's delicious.
It's sour, it's spicy, and you can taste all of those ingredients. And the lime's really refreshing. This is wonderful.
It is nothing like a Tostitos like jar salsa at all.
And it's so much better than just a regular pico that you make in 1 day.
It's got a lot more like depth of flavor than a regular pico. Yeah, the flavor sticks on your tongue. Yeah, really good. Those onions are still
fizzy. It's still crunchy. That's I'm gonna be doing that again.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever be making a simple pico ever again.
And overall, the Kefirko Fermenter is pretty much one of the best Kickstarters I've gotten recently.
It came quickly. It is designed and advertised as, it works.
And I know I'm going to be using this more than once, which is, for a lot of Kickstarters, it's something you look at for a little bit, but then you never touch it again.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those. But this one, I think we'll be getting, tons of use out of. And this salsa apparently lasts for several months as long as it stays refrigerated.
I suspect it's going to last for 1 night because it's very good and we're making tacos.
Ooh, fish tacos.
Right? And this is all we're pretty much going to need on top of it.
I'm really excited. All of the ingredients turned out really well. It's not as spicy as I was thinking it would be.
No, because I replaced most of the green pepper with jalapeno. I was supposed to have 3 of them in there, and I had 1 green pepper and then a ton of jalapenos.
But it's really
I could eat this all day. And I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And I hope that everyone watching this video enjoyed it too. I'm sorry that we haven't been as productive as usual, but I think everyone's going through stressful times now, and seasonal depression is real. So if
reach out to your loved ones. I mean, if you're struggling this time of year, especially with what's going on right now, reach out to your loved ones. Say hi. It never hurts to reach out and say something.
Yeah, always talk to someone. But anyway,
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. We got to say it, so you do it.
Forget. Yeah, exactly. And have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.